Hello, welcome to the Learning Tree Book Club's regular monthly meeting. I'm sorry we had technical difficulties and we weren't able to log on uh, in a timely fashion. We was trying to log on at 2 p.m. but just had some difficulties. Anyway, I'm Meredith Coleman McGee, a member of the Learning Tree Book Club, and I'm here in Jackson, Mississippi. Big
Yes, hello. I'm Vicki Jenkins, and I'm with the Learning Tree Book Club, and I'm also here in Jackson.
okay,
Welcome.
you want to start reading?
Yeah, okay. Let's finishing up. It says,
How your book up so we can see it? Okay, good.
I'm coming to the end where it says 5 steps to overcoming affliction, but broken and step 1, get it out. The first time I shared my story, I told my high school best friend in the 12th grade. They told me that it's never too late to be known. Just the beginning, it felt good to relieve the pressure built up over all these years. One day, I was driving down the street. I looked into my right uh, basketball court where a man was playing with a little girl who I assumed was his daughter. As I glanced at them, I felt no emotion. Everything was fine. He picked up his little girl as she held the basketball in her hand. He raised her to the hoop and she dunked it in the hoop immediately. I broke down crying, wiping my face as I remembered I needed to see the road as I drove. I walked, I talked about my story until I could finally talk about it without crying every time. I shared my story with the purpose of whatever the opportunity presented itself. I don't recommend sharing. I don't recommend sharing your story with everyone, but share it with someone you love and care about. And if you are not in place, you are in a, surrounded with family or loved ones, then try to counsel pastors and life coaches. It is important to relieve the stress by talking about it and not keeping it built up inside. Whatever it takes for you to get it out, closure is what happens in the position of yourself to get past what was needed to do. Everything is different by different things until you get the results you need. Step 2, most of my life, step 2, creating new habits of thinking. Most of my life, I thought nothing would be right for me. The biggest hurdles of was the biggest hurdles was school, my career, and my purpose. The way I viewed my life and based off I went through, the way I viewed my life and based on what I went through. Being talked down, treated poorly, adversely affected by what I thought of myself. I grew up thinking the way for several years. I had no intentionally, I had to intentionally critique every thought I had until it was no longer instinctive for me to believe in myself. I, I I didn't value myself or felt I was worthy of success. I learned the importance of both educating myself and becoming affiliated with what I wanted to become. My grandfather's last words gave me the motivation I needed because I valued my grandfather. Therefore, I valued his words. There was a time when I was confused. I didn't know how to figure things out to be successful. When it came to college degree, I would start well and couldn't see how I would finish. I felt it was in part by being impatient, not thinking. I had what it took to be consistent enough for 4 years or more. I decided to figure out how to make things happen. I had to create habits. One of these new habits were to make things simple. I started doing something to contribute to my goals. Every single way, I stopped getting overwhelmed with the process by looking years down the road, down the road, simply focusing on the current day, and made a world of difference. Make the world difference. I was able to complete my associate's and bachelor's degree, and my master's degree. When I would say I can't, I was speaking those words over my life. I was speaking those words over my life. Now, there is no way I can if I just told myself I can't. There are some things that you shouldn't allow yourself to say. There is power in the words you speak. Speak life not only to others, but to yourself. It can happen for you if at all possible. If it happened for you, it is possible. Step 3, intentionally optimistic. I found that writing and saying positive, affirmative daily words, of saying positive affirmation daily words works wonderful. I found myself that writing and saying positive affirmation daily works. One affirmation day, I found that writing and saying positive affirmation daily works wonders. It truly assists the reprogramming your way of thinking. When you take the garbage out of your brains, you must replace it with good things. You may never be able to change what happened to you, but you can change how you live your life moving forward. I have seen, heard, and read about how people who were victims of child abuse grew up, have kids, and they would abuse their children because that is what was done to them. I'm thinking I intentionally ensured these words to get passed down to my children, that would not get passed down to my children. Oprah Winfrey, Lisa Nichols, Terry Savelli, 40 are among my greatest inspiration. Their stories of how they overcame obstacles and went through better life, and went through on to live better lives. inspire daily. Stories were powerful. Everything you want in life, speak into existence. I am a huge fan of vision boards. And although last year I couldn't check everything off the list, I did check off some things. Speak positive words over your life and over your situation. You may have your ups and downs, but eventually you will get there. Step 4, forgive. I used to hate my parents. I thought I had to forgive them both. And then I learned it wasn't true forgiveness. I didn't see them in their best light. It wasn't until I put myself in their shoes and even attempted to see things from their perspective, I was truly able to forgive. I looked at their lives and what it was like for them growing up in their era. Of course, as I got older and experienced life, I found I wasn't easy to say. It wasn't easy. No one is perfect. My mother is very delicate, stronger than ever. She did the best thing that she could do at the time that she could do on her own. I learned my father was adopted at age 2. My mother, at age 2, I learned my father was adopted. At age 2, his mother put him in scalding hot water and gave him seconds and third-degree burns, which often sometimes cause psychological trauma. Knowing this assisted me in an area of great compassion. To this day, I don't understand why Dad treated me the way he did, but I love him and care about my father. His dad, conversation we have, always tells us a prayer that we forgive him. Sometimes my heart hurts for him. I know he did not want things to turn the way they had did. Recently, my mother told me she never intended for us, her children, to go through the things we did. And it did her good just hearing that she said that I know there were things that I could have done and I did life. Looking back and on in the front, I thought things would be perfect. You make mistakes and you learn from them and how they work, how life works. I talk to Dad and he visits when he's in town. He calls me. Number one, I know that he regrets his past mistakes, and I pray that he heals from them as well, The forgiveness process was long and hard, one for me. It didn't happen overnight. I just had to keep working on it until I got it right. I continuously searched myself, my heart, my mind to give sure that I had no stone left unturned. By being unforgiving, it's hard to move on. You can't soar high with extra weight and baggage. Practicing forgiveness helps lighten your load. God can lift you high and higher. Step 5, meditation. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. Restoreth my soul. Leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod, thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of mine enemies. They anoint my head enemies. Thou amongst them in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Psalms 23. A short while ago, I went through a holistic doctor, the name of Kelly Engelman, who owns the Wellness Center. It was a different approach. I knew there was things that I was going on with my body which needed deeper look. I learned that I was overstressed, had been living this way for many years over my childhood. I was educated on the importance of working out in the right way for my body, getting back to things such as yoga as a necessity. I worked extremely hard. I thought that I was doing all the right things. I was partaking rigorous workouts, plans, thinking it was on the best thing to do. However, I was putting my body through more stress. I recently sought the more different workout plan for good for my body, as well as cooperating yoga into my life. I got busy with work. I had stopped making time for the important things. I suggest find out that it's good for your body, needs, and develop plans and work it out. I know prayer works. God has restored and is continuing to restore a meaningful relationship in my life. God can fix it. These steps don't have to be followed in the listed order. Whichever way you manually gravitate towards, it should be where to start. There is no need to make the process any more difficult. However, the goal that would comes from the champion on the other side. Share your story with many inspiration, with many inspired. Share your story. You just may inspire someone not to give up, who was thinking about throwing in the towel. 5 steps. No more flinching. 5 steps. No more flinching.
I knew you was thinking. I knew you was getting to the end, so I let you go ahead and finish the book since you got.
Oh, okay.
So that was good. At the end, she acknowledged. Hey, Deacon Tim, the second time I saw you today.
How you doing, man? How you doing?
All right.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
I saw him earlier at the state capitol.
Oh, now, okay, y'all was joining some organization. What was it y'all was joining?
National hold on.
You don't even know what you're doing.
National Council of Negro Women had
okay.
Senator Alice V. Harden Youth Summit and Award Program today.
Oh, okay.
In the representatives chambers at the state capitol, and I was able to present the sheet of business, Smith Robinson Museum book. I read it with the youth. And I got, let me get my certificate. I got a certificate. Boom! Y'all see it.
All right now.
I see it. Congratulations.
All right, well, thank you. So look, I went straight to the store and bought me a frame and frame it. I'm gonna find me a nail in a minute and find somewhere to put it. Cause I appreciate it. Yeah. But anyway, Tim, now.
Huh?
I was asking Deacon Timothy, where is he now?
I'm in the bus station. Went on the bus head to the house.
Oh, I see. You just left the state capitol.
Yeah, we had a press conference with the People's Campaigner today.
Oh.
Oh, which organization had a press conference?
We went outside for the press conference. People's Campaigner. When they at home, we had a press conference. People's Campaigner.
Oh, okay. Politician.
Yeah, the Mississippi People's Campaigner.
Oh, moving. Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. What is that about?
It's about the Medicare and stuff, about the violence, talk about the violence.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, so Dinky just got to the end of her book. She been reading the book a couple of months, ain't she? Dinky tell me. So yeah, so I thought go ahead, Dinky. Yeah, she forgave her parents and all that, and
okay. Well, going back into the actual story, it says Miss Hattie Hawk's farm. From day one, I knew something wasn't right. The moment I laid my eyes on it. Miss Hattie Hawk, she maintained a fierce smile. When our social worker introducing us to her for a temporary foster mom, we stood there like wooden puppets in the dim living room, perfectly foreshadowed by the next few months. in her care. The only thing I was content with was the DHS managed to keep Junior and I together. Since there has been a talk about us having to be separated, it was hard to keep siblings together. Looking back and realizing DHS won strong arguments to keep us in the same household since we were brother and sister. Miss Hattie Hawk deserved the Oscar for knowing how happy she looked to see us. It didn't take long for her to show her true colors. After our social worker left, as quick as one could snap their finger, the real Miss Hattie Hawk revealed herself. She was a medium build, a dark-skinned elderly woman, a few words. She spoke with authority. She was someone you didn't want to try. She didn't like kids at all. Matter of fact, she hated for us to be in her house. And she told us to go outside and not to come back in until it was time for bed. I enjoyed the freedom of being outside on the farm all day, but this was a very strange not being able to go inside, even to go when they needed, even to go to use the bathroom. She had one family member who lived with her, Chris. Chris was a medium complexion, thin build. His clothing was like scraps. Chris was younger than us, and had a wild side. Chris calls himself showing my brother the ropes. He would look to the sides of the house and squat. He would do his business, cleans himself with leaves. Junior and I looked at each other in amazement.
Thank you. I thought you just finished the book.
Well, I had. I had. I was reading back. I really had finished the book because I was on the last steps anyway, because I had. The book is finished.
Okay, you did finish the book. You finished
Yeah,
it. You went back and started reading again. Okay. Okay, so I get you because I was like, what's that? Okay, but anyway, yeah, so I thought that was good at the end that she forgave her parent. But to tell the other part about it, that in terms of what she is today, because she read about her trouble in terms of being abused as a child in the foster care system and by her parents. But because she's one of your Adele Tesoro, so can you tell us what she's doing now?
Yeah.
I know she's a very successful speaker across the country. I know that.
And she did mention, in fact, I wasn't gonna say because I didn't know if there was those girls was gonna be there, but she did mention in the fact that she was sexually abused.
No, I mean what she's doing now, professionally.
What
is it on the back cover? About the author.
About the author.
It's in the back cover. Look on the back of the book.
And on the back of the book, it says here, it goes from foster care, living in shelters. Charlotte Taylor, author, speaker, and knows that it is nothing but the grace of God that has led her from led her from jail to seek the her. I see this is too small for me. That led her. See, I can't even get okay. Led her to her 26 various foster care homes, and because she transformed her mind, and she transformed her mind. Reading and writing happens, and God gives us our strength to the blessing. Charlotte seeks to inspire us to press beyond their breaking point, press beyond your breaking point, even if she's only touched one person. Flinching was the reaction of her right before her father oftentimes punched her in her face and offered her mother, and after her mother divorced, even after he and her mother divorced, the damage already was done. She still flinched. If someone was reaching out something near her, until one day it all stopped. She didn't flinch anymore. More than opportunity, she learned how to truly forgive her father. A must read of the true life and story and strength of the endurance and triumphant that will inspire you to overcome any obstacle in life and live. Great book. Subject to material is one that most adults who were kind and care can relate to what kids go through today, care about the relationship, and can relate to the awesome book. As I would recommend it would be to struggling with overcoming adversity. MSW Michael Holloway. The first, it takes a special kind of woman to share her pain with the world. This book is an inspirational, emotional roller coaster that leads to healing. It is full and unimaginable pain. And this woman stood the test of time. Sandra Stashler, Esquire. A delightful guide that advocates the ability to heal through expressions, to fully heal a person that must heal through time and body and soul and spirit. Carlotta Taylor fully expresses her inner spirit in order to heal herself. And more importantly, others through the words and works of God. An excellent read, and those that have overcome adversity and challenging in this lifetime. Dr. Kenyatta Pittman.
Yeah, she definitely came a lot. So what I saw thinking that I wanted to read, I'm here in South Jackson where the two houses blew up and lost the elder lady was in the house because of the gas leak. Well, I just saw in the paper that the feds, it says feds charge Atmos Energy with neglect of gas leaks. Atmos blames third party. Huh? That's interesting. Have you heard anything about that, Deacon Timothy? That the feds charge Atmos with the leaks?
Yeah, I heard
What
it on the news a couple weeks ago.
Okay. What'd you say, Victor?
I was gonna say that what was that? Commissioner Stamps. That's what he was talking about at first when the explosion first started and all the fires. He did say that it was a gas leak and it had something to do with gas, but I was not fully aware that they had charged Atmos Entergy with the leak and to give them the cause of what has happened. I was not fully aware of that, but I don't I don't knock it, no, because I think that it should be because it's their responsibility. Yes.